Yeah, so tonight I experienced something I thought I never would experience in my life. My son Keegan was not with us. He was with his grandfather. I had Kayla, Gabe, and Gavin with us. We went to a store called Ross in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. This little guy right here is he's tube fed, and he has a bunch of other things going on with him. They also think that Gavin now has a form of autism. They think it's Asperger's, the same thing as Keegan has, but Keegan's pervasive developmental disorder. Sorry. So tonight in Ross, we were shopping, and my son was upset, and he didn't understand that he could not have the little weight things that go on top of the hangers to let them know small, medium, large, so on and so forth. He thought that these were Legos. So naturally, as a 2.5-year-old child that does not understand he cannot have these things, he started to throw a fit and have a meltdown. Being a mother of children that have autism, I understand that you cannot cater to them and you cannot give them everything that they want. So we were planned ignoring and did give him something else to play with, and he was not happy with it. We were trying to finish up our shopping, and unfortunately this lady came up behind us with her husband. And sorry for my foul language, but she proceeded to tell me that I needed to get control of my fucking children. And I had said to her, "Excuse me," I said, "You have an issue?" She said that I needed to get control of my fucking child and his crying, as she proceeded to leave the store. Me being the person that I am not a very kind person when it comes to saying something about my child. So I followed her out of the store. Everybody in the store's jaw had dropped at this point. I followed her out of the store, proceeding to tell her that my son was autistic, and she could not judge a book by the cover. She didn't know what was going on with him. She turned around and told me that was my fault for having fucking children that had problems. So I proceeded to follow her out of the store at this point. I did go into the parking lot with her, and we had words back and forth. She was a skinny little drug addict looking thing that just came out of a bathroom of a store. Most likely using some kind of drugs, because anybody on the right state of mind would not say something like that to somebody. She then turned around and got in my face and said, "Do I want to fight about this?" And I told her that I would fucking crush her because there was nothing to this woman, and that I was more of an adult than her. If anybody knows me, I am the first to fuck somebody up. And since I've had my children, I have learned to calm down a bit. I proceeded to walk away from her into the store, back in with my children, back in with my husband. This girl then turns around and comes back into the store, a major store, retail store, opens up the door screaming, "What is my name?" that she was calling the cops on me. So I told her my name, and I followed her out of the store again. And she is telling me that I should have never had children, that they were fucking retards, and everything else. This is a child that is 2.5 years old, that wants something that he cannot have. Me being the bigger person, she goes out the door. I do not follow. I pick my son up, and I am now soothing my son. My other 2 children are extremely upset. Everybody in the store is upset at this point. And I proceed to show the people around me in the store that my son has feeding tubes. He doesn't understand what's going on. People are now coming up to me apologizing for how ignorant somebody could possibly be. You know, this woman had the audacity to turn around with her husband, come up to the store and park run into the store, fling the doors open, and scream that an autistic child is a fucking retard. How dare you do something like that to a child, to a family, to a society of people that have problems? I am warning you, woman, if I ever come across you again, since you ran like the little fucking bitch ass that you are, you got in your fucking car and you drove away with your husband. I was so appalled by the behavior of an adult that you can come up to me and say something like that to me. Through a door in a store and embarrass me to the point where I was apologizing for my child crying, and I was apologizing for how I acted. There is no apology for you. What goes around comes around. And I hope to God this makes it through the internet and you fucking see this. What goes around comes around. Dyfus most likely has your children. One bag of heroin is going to kill you. Things are going to come around and you will not be a fucking happy person. Karma is a fucking bitch. And I apologize for my language. Autism is something that you cannot physically see. And how dare you treat a child like that? Please, people, do not judge a book by its cover. My son could have been having a meltdown because of sound, shapes, colors, whatever was going on inside of his head. He could have been in pain because of his G-tube. He could have had gas because we just got done eating. He could have had anything going on with him. Whatever it was, I, as a mother, could not control it at that point in time. This is what we have to deal with now today in society. This is something that I would never do. I would never come on a video and complain or anything like that. But this is what we have to deal with. And I apologize for my language, but I just wanted to let everybody know that there is a scumbag running around Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre area, putting down autistic children. And I hope to God that I get pictures of her or something. But long story short, the manager had come up and he apologized for the way she was acting. If the police were coming, that he would have our backs and he would tell them what she had did, how ignorant and how obscene she was. To the point where he gave us 15% off our bill, and I told the guy, please don't do that. Don't feel bad for my family. I was walking out of the store. I had a female come up to me and apologize for how somebody else could act. She was in tears. She hugged me and she said that she was extremely sorry for how people could treat people nowadays. There is a little bit of humanity out there. There is people out there that do care. I was waiting for, what would you do, guy, pop out or something, because I've never in my life thought anybody could happen to have ignorance like this. But please support autism awareness. Please support anything that has to come with children with issues, because nobody knows anymore. Nobody knows what a child can be going through. A person, a parent, anybody could have an issue. You don't ever judge a book by its cover. With that said, I thank you, and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for the language, but this is the shit that you have to deal with nowadays. Gavin, you say bye-bye? Say bye-bye.